What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. We are here with another seasonal championship, and this time we are doing the home street home. The street scene one, as if that wasn't clearing enough. Whereas the three races. And I'm going to use the 2005 M3. We also have a Ford Focus, the Jag XE, the Skyline, and the Megane. And I think the Lambo Miura for Italy. But I have that tuned to a different rating, so it wasn't even eligible here. Sorry. So, yeah. And I don't dislike the Miura, but I prefer the M3, so where's that? But you already did the seasonal thing with it, the weekly Forza fun. Well, yes. Your point? Probably not. Tuning share code is in the description. Tune it to 700. Let's just hope it's a good one. I have not tested it before, so I'll be surprised as you will be. Well, launched it very well, at least not compared to the Jaguar, right? But that's hardly an issue. He's blocking our way, that was unfortunate. I wanted to go past on the left, but then it was just braking in front of us. So yeah, that was quite unfortunate, because normally when we get to pick up speed here, we also get to overtake some people. Let's break into this. Get a tighter entry, that worked pretty well. There's a Miura. So that's pretty good. Now maybe we can close the gap to Japan a little bit. I think Japan was leading after Series 1. Not Series 1, after the summer season. In the World Cup thing. So yeah, pretty much you want to, as always, make good use of fast corners. Just get through faster than the AI. They obviously struggle with the fast corners, braking a lot more than they have to. One of the perks of only having to do this on highly skilled and nothing like beatable AI or anything. So it allows you for a much easier race, but we are pulling away quite a bit. The M3 obviously, with a tune like that, especially with the all-wheel drive, etc., a very stable car. And yeah, easily my favorite of the bunch. I can imagine a lot of people picking the Skyline or the Miura, so I think that's with the three cars that have some popularity. Or I can also see the Focus RS, because I think a lot of people actually drive that in real life. Or it's a car a lot of people have seen and driven in real life before, even if not now. So obviously a very affordable yet still pretty quick car. So that might make it interesting to people. The Jaguar, I don't know, I don't really get the feeling that Jags are particularly interesting to most people, so I think that's all the country's done. Did I mention the Miura? Yeah, I did. Well, it's pretty tough to drive like most super old cars, so, or the old sports cars. But with the correct tunes, it's still not too big a video. I just think this version of the M3 is so iconic. Or this car in particular, like when I saw a street scene event in the B class, I would have been very shocked had they left out the 2005 M3. Like, that would have been quite surprising, I will say. Now, I would have accepted a different model of the M3, maybe, but even that, not really. I mean, come on, street racing? Germany, M3, obviously, 2005. That's a car. And that's the livery. So... It's so crazy to think that 2005 is 17 years ago. Oh my. Oh my. Alrighty. Come on. I mean, the Skyline is a classic as well, and I think there are a lot of Japanese people playing Forza, so... And people that like a Japanese car for drifting purposes or otherwise. So I think there is at least a chance that the Skyline just runs away with Japan in general. We will see what the other races hold in store for us, or the other championships. I don't know if Germany has such a favorable car there as well, so this track also shouldn't be too problematic because we have some very sweet spots for overtaking. This one is one of them. For some reason the AI tends to brake when you get next to it, so don't know what's up with that. Now we can pick up some speed. Well, this guy was on the outside line, so that was his bad luck, and now we can pull inside here. That gets this guy out of the way, and now get inside here. That gets this guy away, and then we drive it very tight so that nobody can stick it in. You said tight so they can stick it in. Yes, I did. And I meant exactly what you mean. Or maybe not. Anyways, we are doing pretty well, and right now obviously it's just about not making any big mistakes because we are so far ahead. I'm not entirely sure what I should say. Apparently this tune is alright. I mean, I could be winning in spite of the tune, but apparently it's doing its job of making the car drivable and perform decently. I actually picked it because it had a very good balance between still having some top speed, but sacrificing a lot of it for handling and for the launch, for acceleration. So I think that's very important. I don't think top speed in these races is too big of an issue. I do want some, but which is why I don't want to neglect it when picking a tune. But obviously you want a car that handles really well, so even when the stats look alright, that doesn't mean that it performs alright. Like, stats can be deceiving, so... But this feels really good, so that's a recommendation for that tune. There might be better ones, I'm not saying this is the best one available or anything, but I don't think it's worth it to test all the popular tunes or all the tunes to find one that is, in my opinion, the best. So find something that works, stick with it, whatever. This is just highly skilled AI, this is not some competitive online racing or anything, so... God, I'm freezing. It's annoying. Might grab a tea? Well, not between the races, that would kind of leave you waiting a long time. Probably after the race. Probably wondering why I tell you. Well, because we're in intermissions. It's not much else, you know? Not much else. That's the only race where I could even potentially see some trouble, because there are some corners where the AI is better than me, but... And I'm not particularly great, so we shouldn't have trouble either, so... But yeah, I still don't see too big of an issue, but we'll see. We will see. Also like the rims, but I like the entire car. It's one of my favorite of all time. It's probably in my top 10. Personal top 10. Like I don't have it off the top of my head. It's just like if I had to make one, it would have a shot at being, I should say. Obviously we smoke the Miura at the start, so that's comforting, right? And now we just drive past, I guess. So yeah, not totally neglecting top speed works. Now obviously this isn't its top speed, not by a pretty long stretch, but this is about as fast as you're going to get. Well, this guy has already ventured into the off-road championship, so maybe we will see each other there. I mean, I assume there will be one. Didn't check, but normally it's one street or race, regular road race one, then one dirt or cross country, and then one of the two that are missing. So either a street race, road racing, and the other two, or the other way around. I mean, that's the only... if you have to pick 3 out of 4, that's the only way it's possible, right? You have to have one of each group, and then one of the other. So not just normally, like that's literally the only way it's possible to do it. It's a bit of a dumb sentence in retrospect. Aren't we doing street racing? Shouldn't it be night? I mean, I know the game is very iffy about what constitutes as night, but pretty sure this doesn't. Unless it's early in the morning and, you know, I need to get up, and I like to pretend that this is still night and I certainly still have to sleep, so, you know, but that's just me. Alright. Well, the jungle bit obviously is slightly more challenging because you want to make sure you don't stick it into the wood. So that would be tragic. But and you obviously don't want to fall off that bridge, that would also be tragic. But apart from that, there's no big challenge in this race neither. There are just a few in the starting area there are a few corners where I would say, okay, the AI can hold its own and the overtake possibilities aren't that easy, but we already overtook everyone on the long straight, so, well, that kind of won the race already, so everything else was just cakewalking, or trying to make sure we don't make any big mistakes. So that's 60 points. So, I hope you enjoyed watching me race against myself. I hope you can do this as well. Well, not race against me, but against you. And, yeah. Until next time. Yeah, I like that tuning. Farewell. Actually, I want to know which reward car we get. Well, it could be worse. Alright, farewell.